Hurricane Matthew is bearing down on the Florida East Coast. We'll track that and take a sneak peek into the weekend forecast back here in the Bluegrass State.
Hurricane Matthew has strengthened to that Category 4 storm, and now folks along the Florida coast are preparing for a possible direct hit later tonight.
Hurricane Matthew is having an impact on travelers throughout the country, including right here in Kentucky. Coming up, we will have the latest from Bluegrass Airport.
This is WKYT News at 4.
And welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott reporting. Hurricane Matthew is bearing down on Florida and is likely to be a catastrophic storm from the Atlantic coast all the way up to South Carolina. And some big changes are expected in our region as well for our weekend. We want to get straight to Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey for the very latest. Chris?
Yeah, obviously a very busy pattern. Highlighting the pattern is our Category 4 hurricane, that is Matthew, into the Bahamas and just off the eastern coast of Florida right now. And the eye is showing up very well on the Weather Service radar out of Miami, and that's continuing to head toward Freeport here in the Bahamas. Look at that spin, the outer bands getting as far west now as Tampa and as far north as the Daytona Beach area. Currently a Category 4 hurricane moving to the northwest at 14 miles an hour, wind sustained 140 miles per hour. Still a little time for this to strengthen. We look at your 3D Defender radar network and you see those bands that are whipping across the Sunshine State. Look at the eye wall and you see the eye showing up very, very well just to the south of Freeport there in the Bahamas. If you're playing along, this is 114 miles from the Florida coast right now, but you got to keep in mind it is not going to directly move toward the west. It's going to parallel the coast for a little while. The Fort Pierce area may be in line for a landfall sometime after midnight tonight. Here's the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center with those hurricane warnings. They go all the way to Orlando inland and as far south as areas just to the north of Miami. Daytona Beach up towards Savannah. We are under that hurricane warning, and the track of this storm still kind of parallels the coast all the way towards Charleston, South Carolina before it begins to work toward the southeast. Here's a future radar, hour-by-hour radar showing you the eye of the storm, and watch your timeline here. It goes through Freeport, and by midnight roughly that eye wall is between West Palm and the Fort Pierce area, and at least this particular model takes the eye on top of Fort Pierce and toward Melbourne as we go into 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Absolutely catastrophic into the Florida area. Around here, it's quiet, and I almost feel guilty talking about how nice the weather is here in the Bluegrass State. Amber, when I come back in a few minutes, we'll focus on the weekend forecast, go a little more in depth on Matthew as well.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. President Obama has already signed an emergency declaration for Florida as Hurricane Matthew makes its way toward shore as that Category 4 storm. Coastal communities are being ordered to evacuate and emergency preps are underway. CBS's Don Champion continues our top story team coverage now from Port Orange.
Whipping winds and powerful waves along Florida's coastline are signs of the trouble to come. Matthew is barreling toward the Florida coast as a Category 4 hurricane, and it could get even stronger. Governor Rick Scott insisted the storm isn't one to take lightly.
If you're in an evacuation zone, get out. This is not something you should take a chance with.
Ken Aquino in the coastal town of Port Orange seems to be on the fence about riding out the storm in the house he built.
Why ride the storm out? Just in case I at least have the opportunity to try to repair something that may, be able to salvage the home.
Not far away, Gary Sadaka took his boat out of the water. He's a retired firefighter and says residents who stay behind do so at their own risk.
When it gets bad and they call in 911, they don't leave the firehouse. They don't leave until after.
This area where I'm standing is expected to be underwater by this time Friday when a powerful storm surge and huge waves are expected to inundate the coast. Hurricane conditions are even expected inland in Orlando, where Disney is closing its theme parks. At least 2,500 National Guard troops have been called up. They're preparing supplies and rescue boats. Don Champion, CBS News, Port Orange, Florida.
A driver who was shot during a confrontation with South Carolina deputies along a Hurricane Matthew evacuation route has now died. The Berkeley County Sheriff says the driver knocked down traffic cones at a checkpoint, made remarks to officers, and then sped off. The sheriff says when deputies caught up with the driver several miles away, he began shooting at them and deputies returned fire. No deputies were wounded. 4 of the deputies, though, have been placed on administrative leave while the incident is investigated. Disney World in Orlando is closing early today at 5 for Hurricane Matthew. The iconic theme park will remain closed tomorrow as the Category 4 storm approaches the Sunshine State. No decision has been made yet about Saturday operations. The closures affect theme parks, water parks, Disney Springs, miniature golf courses, and ESPN Wild World of Sports. Disney has already evacuated its Fort Wilderness campgrounds. This will be the 4th time Disney World has closed since opening in 1971, all of them for hurricanes. SeaWorld and Universal Studios in Orlando will also be closing their theme parks tonight and will stay closed tomorrow. Several airlines have already canceled flights because of Hurricane Matthew, and here in Kentucky, some people are having to change their travel plans. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at Bluegrass Airport with more on the travel troubles caused by Hurricane Matthew. She continues our top story team coverage at 4.
While we are quite a ways away from Hurricane Matthew, the impacts on travelers are still being seen here at Bluegrass Airport. Today, 2 flights halted, and tomorrow's flight schedule already seeing a cancellation.
October is actually one of our busiest travel months of the year. There's a lot going on both here in Lexington and in other cities, and of course fall break has an impact as well.
A busy travel month for folks here at Bluegrass Airport, in the midst of that busy time, keeping a close eye on the developments with Hurricane Matthew. Right now, the only direct impact to Lexington to flights in and out of Orlando and Fort Lauderdale. Those are both direct flights from Bluegrass. However, they say more travelers are likely to be impacted at some point along their trip.
Most of our flights go to hub cities that are not necessarily on the coast, and so those cities won't be affected. However, if you're connecting to one of those cities, then you certainly might be impacted. So most likely you'll be fine with your flight from Lexington, but if you're going to a hub city, you might see an impact on the next flight.
Cottle says the best thing to do if you are planning to fly in the next few days is to visit the website for the airline you're traveling and then check out their travel advisories. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
And Cottle says they anticipate very little, if any, additional direct impacts to flights in and out of Bluegrass Airport. Well, as we speak, the Davis H. Elliott Company is sending linemen from right here in Kentucky to help Florida deal with the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew. The company specializes in storm response. They've already sent more than 500 crew members, but expect that number could rise to more than 1,000 by this weekend. They'll work around the clock in the coming weeks to repair the damage Hurricane Matthew leaves behind.
And when they get there, they're going to be working in the worst conditions. There's going to be no power, no hotels. We're going to have electricity. Our guys will be sleeping in mobile sleeping units that are brought in, and they're going to be working 16 hours a day for the most part, and they're going to be working 7 days a week until all the power is restored.
Right now, crew members are currently staying as close as they safely can to where the storm is expected to hit so they can move in and start repairs as soon as it moves through. We'll have more on how long the crews expect to be helping repair damage ahead for you on WKYT News at 5:30. The American Red Cross is sending a team from Kentucky to parts of the southeast. That's according to the Courier-Journal. 4 Red Cross workers from Louisville and 1 from Lexington are headed to the Carolinas or Florida today. They'll prepare shelters and help with other relief efforts. Remember, you can track Hurricane Matthew and our weather anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free from the app or Google Play stores. Well, we are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A high-speed chase in southern Kentucky had a police officer fearing for his life, and now a suspect stands accused of trying to kill police officers. Brandon Stinnett was arrested last night in Whitley County after a high-speed police chase. Williamsburg Police Chief Wayne Bird says Stinnett was driving about 90 miles per hour down some back roads when he tried to crash into the officers. Chief Bird says it's the closest he's ever come to being killed on the job. Police say Stinnett eventually rammed a tree and was arrested. He's facing 3 counts of attempted murder of a police officer and a long list of other charges. We'll have more from Williamsburg ahead on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. A big announcement today for the city of Berea. U.S. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack paid a visit to Berea College this morning. And while there, he announced $400 million will be used to help reduce poverty in some of the nation's poorest communities. And the city of Berea will be receiving a large part of that funding. That money will be spent throughout each community on things like public safety facilities, education, housing, health care facilities, public community support centers, and much more.
Well, I know that the FAHI organization is receiving the $50 million, and they've been working for decades to finance low-income rural housing, and I would anticipate that it's going to be that.
And we'll have more on what the announcement means for Berea ahead on WKYT News at 4:30. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Federal investigators are now looking into that Samsung phone that caused a scare on a plane in Louisville.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back in. New safety technology that could prevent speeding trains from crashing is coming to some Minnesota rail lines. That begins today's Money Watch. Positive train control could stop a collision or derailment because of excessive speed. The St. Cloud Times first reported the developments. Federal safety regulators are looking to see if the lack of an automatic braking system contributed to last week's deadly rail crash in New Jersey. Federal investigators are looking into a Samsung phone that overheated and forced the evacuation of a passenger jet right here in Kentucky. Its owner says the device was a replacement for the same type of phone at the center of a worldwide recall. Chris Van Cleve reports from Reagan National Airport outside Washington.
Just smoke and popping and sizzling sound.
Brian Green says that noise was coming from the Galaxy Note 7 he had tucked into his pocket after trying to power it down.
A few seconds later, I heard some popping that sounded like a Ziploc bag popping open, and looked around to see what that was, and there was smoke just billowing, pouring out of my pocket.
We got smoke in the cabin. You send the emergency equipment over here.
Crews evacuated Flight 994 as it sat at the gate at Louisville International Airport. The Consumer Product Safety Commission announced a recall last month of about 1 million Samsung Galaxy Note 7 phones in the U.S. alone, noting 92 reports of batteries overheating, burning at least 26 people, and damaging property at least 55 times.
We're moving aggressively to investigate this incident.
The head of CPSC says it's looking into Green's claim that the device that overheated was a replacement for the phone he turned in as part of the recall. Green showed us the serial number, which, according to Samsung's website, is not among the list of affected devices.
We need to figure that out, and that's certainly something that has to be verified one way or the other.
For now, Brian Green is no longer using a Samsung phone.
It's just scary to think that I could have been driving and this happened. Someone could have had this in their luggage on the plane, under the plane. It could have been a lot worse.
Samsung says it's working with authorities and Southwest to recover the device and figure out the cause, but says since it hasn't examined the phone, it is not able to confirm if it is in fact a new Note 7. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Reagan National Airport, Virginia.
I'm Deanne Stevens out and about at the all-new Keeneland merchandising tent, one of the many new things happening for Fall Meet. We'll tell you more about it when we return here on WKYT.
Gorgeous weather across the Bluegrass State. Looks like more of the good stuff ahead. We'll talk about the weekend forecast and some cooler air. And, of course, all eyes on Matthew in a moment.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Warm temperatures out there again today. Many of us topping out 80 degrees or a little better. Blue skies across central and eastern Kentucky. It's been a heck of a first week of October. And for a lot of the kiddos, teachers out there, it's fall break. Parents will throw you into the mix too. Your live sky cam, Hamburg Pavilion in the distance, and blue skies over top of us. Not a whole lot to write home about. It's a boring weather pattern across Kentucky, and we're going to stay this way for the next little bit. Defender Radar Network has nothing going on across the region. One of those days where we actually had some clouds early, and now we're breaking out into mostly sunny skies, southwesterly winds warming us up. Showers, thunderstorms off to the west of us, even tornado warnings here to the south of Wichita, yet to the northwest. Into Nebraska, it's snowing right now, snowing into parts of the Rockies. That's a cold front that is on the way, arrives on Saturday. It's not going to impact our weather until then. It won't have a whole lot of juice. Eastern Kentucky tomorrow, you got about that much of a chance for an isolated shower to go up. Temperatures upper 70s, low 80s yet again. Let's walk you through the forecast over the next few days and show you that big change that does blow on into town. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice how we are much cooler across central Kentucky than we are in the east. And it is across the east that we will be dealing with a little cloud cover. And there you see that small shower chance. And look at the number any little bit of cloud cover can do on temperatures from upper 60s to upper 70s to around 80. That's what we're going to be fighting into the afternoon tomorrow. Your Friday evening's a mild one. Temperatures will stay in the 60s all evening, upper 50s to around 60 early in the day on Saturday, and then the thermometers drop as the cold front blows through here, readings into the 60s for a high. Saturday evening, we'll drop it quickly through the 50s, and by the time you wake up Sunday morning, a lot of low 40s will show up with mid and upper 60s coming your way into Sunday afternoon. All eyes in the weather world obviously are on Florida, and right now this is what your hurricane looks like. This is Matthew. It's a Category 4 hurricane. New update should be coming up here in just about a half hour or so. 140 miles per hour in terms of sustained winds. Pressures continue to drop just a little bit. 938 moving to the northwest at 14 miles an hour. Look at the spiraling bands, those feeder bands of showers and thunderstorms wrapping around our system. And we're looking, this is the forecast track from the past 12 hours from the National Hurricane Center. So if you look at that, match it up with where the eye is tracking just a little to the east of what the official forecast has been calling for. And that's going to take it close to the Melbourne area, Fort Pierce up toward Daytona and Jacksonville with hurricane warnings as a Category 4 hurricane later tonight, early tomorrow morning, impacting the Carolinas, then trying to do a little loop back toward the Bahamas and maybe impacting Florida for a second time, if you can believe that. Across the Bluegrass State, opening weekend of the fall meet out at Keeneland tomorrow. We look really good. It's the smallest threat for a shower tomorrow in eastern Kentucky and on Saturday. Most of the region is dry for the next week. 60s this weekend, upper 60s, low 70s into the early part of next week. Right now, let's check in with Officer Don and live drive traffic.
The only major thing we're working right now, it's really not that major. It's a stalled car, the exit ramp from I-75 north down at Winchester Road. It is blocking part of the ramp at the bottom, so it's causing a backup there as traffic's exiting off of the interstate. Hamburg traffic looks okay, and drive times are holding our own. To Nicholasville, still less than 15 minutes, and no problems to Versailles. Now back to the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. The weather looks great for it. Tomorrow is the big day here in Lexington. The fall meet for Keeneland kicks off, and they are celebrating their 80th anniversary of racing. Deanne Stevens is out and about today. She joins us with more on what's happening at the track. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at Keeneland in the all-new Keeneland merchandising tent. Check out this place. I mean, this is like heaven for a Keeneland shopper like myself. Kyle Casson is with us. And Kyle, you guys have done an amazing job with the merchandising tent. This is brand new for our fall meet.
Yeah, it's all new. You know, I think it's a great opportunity for our fans to really have that full-on Keeneland experience that many of them miss throughout our race meet with our smaller shop.
Right. So why did you guys decide to do that? Just to give that bigger experience, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted our fans to have an opportunity to shop when they're here, take that token away with them so that they remember what a unique and exciting experience it was at the races for them.
Well, if you've been in the beautiful Keeneland shop before, you know it is a little smaller, and especially during the race meet, as you mentioned, it can get a little crowded in there, but this is nice and spread out, and you guys are really focusing on Keeneland branded items, aren't you? You've got a lot more for kids, for teens, for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Hats, T-shirts, golf shirts, everything that true Keeneland Race Day fan is looking for.
And not only that, but you're offering some fabulous services for those fabulous shoppers out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this.
Yeah, so we have a personalization station where Keeneland shoppers can get their hats embroidered. They can get some of our medals. We have money clips and bottle openers that they can get engraved. And then our biggest service that we've added this year is a complimentary bag check. So shoppers can come either before they enter the gates or any time during the races, stop in, leave their merchandise so that they don't have to carry it with them all day, that they can leave their drink hand open and their wagering hand open.
You said it.
Yeah. So it's one of those, we're here to be a full service operation.
Yeah, making things very convenient for people to shop. The good news is, too, the gift shop is still open. The Keeneland shop is still open. So when you come out here tomorrow throughout the whole fall meet, you can come to either. So it's the best of both worlds. Do a little Christmas shopping while you're here as well. You like to hear that, don't you? I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about preparing for the fall meet, kicking things off tomorrow here at Keeneland. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Deanne. Can living in a more prosperous area be good for your health? That's ahead in Better Living. And researchers closer than ever to a universal flu vaccine. Tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot is $41 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $91 million. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Some new progress on a universal flu shot. Researchers in Canada and New York are reporting a step forward in the development of a universal flu shot. Scientists say using antibodies that can recruit white blood cells to destroy infected cells may help in making a one-time shot much more effective than seasonal flu vaccines. A new study as people who live in areas of economic opportunity report fewer days of poor health. Researchers in Massachusetts found better living conditions translated to better physical and mental health overall, with people also adopting healthier behaviors. And new data on Medicare patients with blood cancer suggests high initial costs can delay access to life-saving drugs. Doctors say more than 30% of such patients are starting therapy late, more than 6 months after diagnosis.